Ronaldo hits another milestone. The Dembélé saga continues. Pep plans for the future, a transfer roundup, and this week's Friday feels. All coming up on today's OneFootball Daily News. As I'm your host, Angelina Kelly, let's get into it. So it's that time again. Cristiano Ronaldo has hit another milestone. He's broken another record. At this point, I'm beginning to wonder how many records are actually left for him to break. So last night in Manchester United's 3-2 victory over Arsenal, he became the first player in history to score 800 top-level career goals. The numbers: 1,097 games, 801 goals. Scoring the 2 goals was just a typical Ronaldo response really to the criticisms that he has been facing recently. You know, is he a help or a hindrance to Manchester United? Should they have signed him? Is he going to fit in under Ralf Rangnick? I think that he's definitely proved his doubters wrong, and Rangnick himself, he was sat taking a lot of notes in the stand last night, even stood up to applaud him scoring the winning goal. Anyway, on to Man United's 3-2 victory over Arsenal, which I think, whether you're a fan of either team or just a neutral, it was a highly entertaining game, and we have got to talk about those goals. The first goal came from Smith-Rowe, and it was controversial to say the least. So at about 13 minutes, Martin Odegaard shot in a corner for Arsenal. It was then headed away by Harry Maguire, which went as far as Mohamed El Neni, which then ended up finding Smith-Rowe from 20 yards out, and he shot at goal. Now, normally this was the type of shot that David De Gea would have saved, but in the middle of all of this, it was actually his own player Fred who accidentally trod on his heel, and De Gea was down with his back to the goal on the floor. This basically meant that De Gea was completely unable to react. However, the referee Martin Atkinson did not blow his whistle, and when you look at the rules, because it was actually a Man United player who fouled De Gea, there is nothing to actually say that the goal should not stand. VAR checked it and eventually it did go through. However, there's been a lot of discussion as to whether the goal should have stood or whether it should not. And then Bruno Fernandes managed to level when he finished off an intricate move involving Jadon Sancho and Fred. Ronaldo put United ahead as he swept home a Marcus Rashford cross. Then it was Martin Odegaard who managed to get things level for Arsenal, but he then ended up giving away that penalty, which Ronaldo ultimately did score to make it his 801st goal. The result leaves Man United 3 points off 4th place Arsenal, who didn't have a terrible game, I must say, but like I say, it was a very, very entertaining one. And after the game, Michael Carrick, the interim manager for Manchester United, came out to the media and said that he will be leaving the club after 15 years of service as a player, a coach, and of course the interim manager. Now, there's a lot of debate over whether he took his future into his own hands. Did he jump before he was pushed and maybe sacked by Rangnick? Has he decided that he simply wants a break? Does he want to stay loyal to Ollie? It does remain to be seen. However, it will be very interesting to see what this new era at Manchester United under Rangnick will bring. Elsewhere in the Premier League last night, and Antonio Conte managed to continue his unbeaten run in the league with Tottenham as they got a comfortable 2-0 victory over a lacklustre Brentford to keep up with the top 4. The long and winding road of Ousmane Dembélé's future at Barcelona continues, as his future still remains pretty uncertain. This saga has been going on for quite a while now, and despite the fact that his representative and the powers that be at Barcelona reportedly sat down for a 3-hour-long meeting yesterday, they are still no clearer as to where he will be playing his football when his contract expires. Now, Barcelona have made it pretty clear that they want to keep Dembélé, and it doesn't come as much of a surprise. He is a talented player despite some dips in form and injuries, and when you consider some of the big names that Barcelona have lost recently, it makes total sense that they would want to keep a player like Dembélé. New manager Xavi has reportedly said that he wants him to stay at the club and that he believes he could be one of the best in the world, if not the best in the world, in his position. And the president, Joan Laporta, has come out and said that he wants him to stay at the club, even though negotiations are taking a little bit longer than expected. And meanwhile, according to reports from numerous Spanish media outlets, Dembélé himself does want to stay at the club. This has been spoken about internally, so if Dembélé does want to stay at the club, and if Barcelona wants to keep him, why is there such a delay? Reportedly, pessimism at the club is growing about Dembélé, and because there have been so many hold-ups, there are reports that Barcelona have given him and his representatives 15 days to come to a decision about whether he will stay or go. I'm not too sure if I can see them tying this one up in just over 2 weeks. Now, according to Sport, a few weeks ago, Barcelona did give the player's agent a proposal for this renewed contract. The salary was decreased, however, there were enough targets basically within the contract contract that if Dembélé did hit these targets, he would still be earning the money that he's earning now. There hasn't actually been a response reportedly from the agent. He has asked for more time to consider the proposal, and Barcelona are getting a little bit worried that he is maybe just trying to get a little bit more time to wait until January 1st, when of course the player and his agent can listen officially to different offers from different clubs, as of course there have been quite a few Premier League clubs reportedly interested in Dembélé, and there are also reports that his agent is pushing for him to have a move away. You can definitely understand Barcelona's frustrations, but also should a player not be able to figure out what his options are and weigh them up? I personally think that Dembélé will remain in a Barcelona shirt. However, if the right club with the right numbers come knocking at the door, it may be hard for him to ignore it. So Manchester City fans, it has been on the cards for a while now that when Pep Guardiola's contract finishes in 2023, he will not be renewing with the club. But according to some reports from 90 Minutes, he has been giving a few hints. There have been a few rumours as to where he could be managing next. Now, Guardiola has basically stated that he would not coach another Premier League team. The only time that he would return to the Premier League would be to coach Manchester City again if they ever needed him. So that's definitely some good news. And this loyalty to Manchester City seems to stretch beyond the Manchester club and to the City Football Group, because according to reports, he will be moving to New York to coach their sister club, New York City FC, in the Major League Soccer. Now, Guardiola reportedly spent a year in New York on sabbatical before he took the Bayern Munich job, and has spoken about his love of the Big Apple, and has also spoken really positively about the work that the City Football Group have been doing in the USA and how football has such a bright future in the country. So it looks like we could see Guardiola departing from Europe, maybe for good. However, I think it's safe to say that he's pretty much conquered the continent, and I think he would definitely be able to leave with a smile on his face if he did manage to get Manchester City that Champions League trophy. Now, should Guardiola take this position at New York City FC, which 90 Minutes are reporting, he wouldn't be the first coach to be at the club that already has existing ties with the City Football Group, as of course Guardiola's former assistant has coached there, and Patrick Vieira, who was the football development executive at City. Guardiola has also stated that he would like to coach in South America, so it seems like perhaps he will be having a bit of a pit stop in the MLS. But don't worry, City fans, you have still got him, of course, for about another season and a half. And with these growing reports that City staff Ferran Torres could be making a move to Barcelona as soon as January, it seems like Pep better get to work and see if he can keep the player at the Etihad. And now we have a transfer roundup. This is where I take a look at some of the other news and transfers in the footballing world. And first up, according to The Times, Manchester City player Edinson Cavani would like a move to Barcelona in the summer. El Nacional states that Newcastle United and Juventus are both considering trying to sign Thibaut Courtois from Real Madrid in 2022. Arsenal have reportedly identified Dominic Calvert-Lewin as their replacement for Alexandre Lacazette should he depart. And finally, some OneFootball transfer news. Today is my last working day at OneFootball. I've been offered a great opportunity back in the UK, but whilst I will miss every single person at OneFootball and of course all of the viewers, I would just like to say a big thank you for all of the support, and it has been an absolutely amazing opportunity. I'm sure it won't be the last time that you see me on some OneFootball content, and do not worry, you have still got Matt here to keep you guys company. And now we've got my final Friday feels. This is where I'd stick a few predictions on some of the weekend's games. And don't forget, if you get some of the predictions right in the comment section below, your correct prediction may be read out on Monday. First up, we have got the Women's FA Cup final from last season. It's between Arsenal and Chelsea. Whilst Arsenal may be the underdogs, I still feel that they will end up winning the cup. Then over in Italy, we have got Napoli against Atalanta. I have a feeling that Atalanta could hold Napoli to a draw. And of course in Germany, we have got Borussia Dortmund against Bayern Munich. It is Haaland versus Lewandowski. I have got no idea how this game will end, so I'm going to go with a pretty easy prediction in that I think both Haaland and Lewandowski will be on the score sheet. So that's it for today's OneFootball Daily News. As always, check out all the other content that we've got here and have a great weekend.